talk about practical stuff that people can do. I mean, in 2015 at the Tennis Summit, there was a panel that was led by Kurt Camperman of the USTA, and on the panel was John Embry, the executive director of the USPTA, Dan Santorum, the CEO of PTR, and Paul Lovers, who's a high up, and I believe he's director of player something. I don't know what he's the director of, but he's pretty high up in the educational part of the USTA. Meetings and sport and gamesmanship in tennis, and so it was a very heated discussion, and I raised my hand and put my 2 cents in, which gained some interesting feedback, and then I actually had the chance to talk personally to 3 of those 4 people. I talked for 10 minutes each with Kurt, Dan, and John. Since that time, I wrote a book called 21 Ways to Eat an Elephant, How to Solve the Problem of Cheating in Junior Tennis. And there are 21 practical ideas in that book, and I can get into a couple of those here. Pretty time-consuming to try to cover all of that. The interesting thing is, since that time, the efforts that have been put forward by those 3 organizations, I would say, 1, kudos to the PTR for publishing some articles publishing an article that I wrote from the book and actively promoting the book, which is not expensive. Right now, it's 99 cents. It's a 99-cent ebook on Amazon. It's also included in the back of the book, Top 5 Strategies and Tactics for Winning Tennis. The USTA also then made Bill Mountford available to me, and he and I had a 45-minute discussion on this, and he provided the key quote to the book. But since that time, I haven't really seen anything else, and that book doesn't sell a lot. It's not, I mean, if you knew how little I made per book, then you'd realize that it's not a profit motive that I have there. Anyway, probably the number 1 piece of advice I would give to people is fight 1 battle per year. When you see one really awful thing happen that's hot, over the top, head and shoulders above anything else you've ever seen, follow up on that thing. Like let's say you see a kid throw a racket harder than you've ever seen anybody throw a racket before. Go to the tournament director and say, hey, I just saw this kid throw this racket, and I really think you need to do something about it. Why did nobody see that? Then from there, if you don't get the action that you're looking for there, then go to that person's direct supervisor and talk with them about this tournament, this thing happened, and I wonder why nothing happened. And then if you get no satisfaction there, then go to the controlling body of that person that did nothing and go all the way up until you get satisfaction. And if you do that once a year and act very professionally the entire time, then I think you'll see things happen. One of the frustrations I know of on the USTA level is they don't get enough written complaints. So if you write a very concise email saying, these are the facts of the case. I was here, the player was there, the player did that. I went to the tournament director did nothing. I then called this person, that person did nothing. Then you start a paper trail. And the USTA does want that. They do sincerely want that feedback. When people just call and complain, you can't. There's no paper trail on that. They can't follow up.